Welcome to Bonehead Weekly. And this week, actually, we're going to apologize. We hung out the 4th of July. We could have probably done something live or an episode, but we didn't. It never came up. And we kind of took a week off. I've had surgery, several things going on in my life I'm not going to talk about. I'm assuming my friend Chad also lost his hair.
Yeah, it's been tragic.
Yeah.
That one hair right above my nipple just fell off, and I've been mourning.
And then
Oddly
Jamie,
enough, I have more hair now because I went to this shop and bought a hair
single
that was,
hair.
yeah, that was made from somebody who lost it. So this is
Two,
really a weird twist on Gift of the
and the
Magi.
Oh,
and and
Henry.
and and the salesman didn't tell him it was a merkin.
Ooh, if you don't know what a merkin is right now, folks, Google it.
American is what we celebrated 250 years of.
250 years of merkin. Now, we apologize, but as I was telling them earlier when we were texting trying to get this done, it's free.
Yep.
We've never
What?
charged any of you ever. We have hell, we've never done, I want if and for our loyal listeners, we've never done a Patreon. So, you're
Nope, no
welcome.
Kickstarters, no Patreons, no. We're idiots.
We're dumb as a box of rocks. We dumb, Frylock. We
We
dumb as
dumb as
hell.
hell.
Dumb as hell. So we're apologizing, but here we are. Now we do have several things coming up, like well, the three of us are going to go see Evil Dead Burn Saturday. But past that, I mean, I'm sure we'll do something for you all next week. However, this week's topic, we talked about this the other day, and I had some students in front of me. We had some extra time. I work with college students. And they were over there at the table talking about obsession and backrooms, right? Because obsession's still going on. And this is going to lead me to my other point of what we did the other night. And I said, "Hey, do you mind if I ask you a question?" They all look at the gray-haired guy. And I said, Why do you like those so much?" And their answers were truly unhelpful.
What were they? You gonna
So
let
they
us
I
in on this
don't
one?
so obsession I loved because I think it speaks to just so many different things I've experienced in relationships. And of course it takes it to the 50th thousandth level. But I liked it. And I can't understand because their answers were, "Oh, it was so different," which I understand that. "Oh, I like that they did it on their own and it didn't cost 500 million." Okay, I get, but it was the same kind of shit you just kind of read on. You know what I mean? It wasn't, and none of them were saying things where I was looking at them thinking they had a formed opinion. Is the other thing that
Hmm.
was going on. It was to me they were regurgitating what they've read about the reason why they did it.
Do
Oh,
you
So
quick, Joe, do you think that's why some people retroactively have decided they don't like the Blair Witch Project though?
a lot of people didn't like the Blair Witch Project when it came out. So
Yeah,
there was
but
a
everybody
ton
went to
of
see it.
Hollywood filmmakers that like this isn't even, I remember John Landis saying this isn't even a movie.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be that guy. That's the reason
No,
why I
no.
said,
Well, and I mean in all fairness, I mean compare it to the movies that John Landis has made in the last 3 years.
"Oh, I hear you, but he's a talented dude who made some movies that are really important to me." So I don't know. I don't got an answer for them, but they were basically regurgitating it, and they were sitting here telling me about, well, it was really creepy and all that stuff, and I said, yeah, some of the things you said, and I remember I was like, I've heard some of those stuff from people I've relationships with, and they go, they started all looking at me like, who would say any of that nonsense? And which leads me back to the movie. To me is very profound. Why are they the ones watching it? Because none of them have enough experience to understand it. Or maybe I'm reading too much into it, which leads me to why did everybody hate Supergirl? It's not great, but it's a solid B superhero movie.
Well, I was about to say, and so if anybody, and I posted this and I tagged Bonehead in it, so maybe some of you that listening saw my random comment. But do you all? I agree, Joe. Like I got to watch that with my kid, had a good time. Neither one of us walked out having our mind, blown, but it was,
It was well,
I,
the three boneheads went with their kid. We were missing one bonehead kid, right?
yeah,
Because you
yeah.
couldn't get her out of the house.
But honestly, as my son said later on, uh, he made the comment. He said, she's good in it. This is him. She's good in it, and Jason Momoa's doing his best Wolverine, which is what Lobo's supposed to be.
I didn't
And
know
so,
Lobo was supposed to be in Wolverine. That made a
well,
lot
it's
of sense. I
DC's
always thought he was
kind of
kind of neat looking.
answer. Yeah, yeah. No, I mean but I mean it's it was we need a smart aleck tough guy over the top Wolverine. So anyway, and I'm not by the way besmirching that character at all. But I agree. Like I have watched way worse movies in theaters that have made way more money and nobody complains. Nobody. And I don't
What
think this is just the case. But is are we getting to a point where and I don't think it's everybody. It's fine to have a negative opinion of the movie.
I agree that
Is there though a little bit though of misogyny that's popping up in some people's comments?
I it is for some people, but also I don't. I think that's an easy out, right? And I know I'm like,
No,
oh,
no,
you're
I'm not
pushing
saying
it on
I'm
me.
saying about 10% of people that don't like it. I'm not saying if there's reasons not to like that movie.
Yeah, it's not great,
But
and even you and Chad looked at each other. Chad, what'd you say during one plot point?
Oh, you talking about the sun?
The green
Yeah,
sun to the yellow
it
sun
was
because I was sorry.
just too convenient.
Well,
It was horrible. It was horrible writing.
Well, I was sitting there trying to figure, well, how are they going to get her out here if they put her on a green planet, which it clearly wasn't green. And then the whole time I was sitting there next to my son because he wanted to sit next to James's son. Anyway, we were just sitting there, and I was like, clearly they're not just going to have it turn yellow. Is
No,
that
see,
what they're going to do?
I knew exactly that's what they were going to do because
Well,
when they
I'm just
landed,
saying in my head, clearly, while I'm
well,
sitting there.
I know, but yeah, I mean, I figured that because when they landed on the planet, it's solar green yellow, and I'm like, oh, it's going to be green. It's going to weaken her, and then at the very last minute, when it
Well,
all hope's lost,
why?
the sun will come out and she's back to normal.
But why didn't the Marauders or the Benefactors or whatever the hell they're,
Oh, by the way,
Brigands.
people listening, spoilers.
why didn't the Bergens or whatever their name are drive
Brigands,
off?
Brigands.
Why didn't the Brigands leave while it was still green?
Yeah, I don't none
Well,
You know,
none of
because
it
now
made sense.
in
these were the
defense,
only. She's fine in it. Most of the people are fine in it. I'm just.
yeah.
It's lazy. It's a very lazy
Well,
written
and
script.
let me justify
But
actually
it
the
isn't the
critiques that
biggest
I'm
piece. I've
talking
seen
about.
way worse.
Well, I
Hmm.
was gonna say, let me justify the critiques I'm talking about when I say there does seem to be some misogyny out there. I literally read a review today that was a well-reasoned point to start with. It was like, well, this isn't my cup of tea. And I'm like, that's fine. You have every right. And then but literally the start of the second paragraph was, um, it was worded slightly better, but I mean only slightly. And she's nowhere near as hot as Helen Slater was in her prime. And I'm like, that doesn't work for me. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't, because in all fairness, I increasingly, and it's actually one of the big critique of that some people in the 80s had of comic books. There are normal people out there that would probably get powers that wouldn't have a six pack or that wouldn't have huge, tracts of
Tracts
land.
of land.
And so I think that's really, and some comic companies tried to address that. And if you look at a lot of it started, I would say there's a start of it in the 80s of, quite frankly, quote unquote, somewhat normal people getting powers. Um, and so I say all of that to say I think that's what I'm talking about. It's if your only critique is, or if in your top, let's say two or three critiques is, I don't find her hot enough to be Supergirl. A, Supergirl's fictional. B,
Well, it's
what?
also valid that you don't find someone attractive. I'm sure she doesn't find you attractive either. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah. There's
what's the
no
point of
way.
getting online to tell anyone?
Yeah, and that's it. I think that's it. I think that's my big thing. Because I'll be honest, like we've been talking about, is the movie flawless? Absolutely not. It's Did I have fun watching a movie with my kid? Yes, I did.
Hmm.
And in all honesty, yeah, I'd watch another one. But my big rant online to jump to that is, why in the world were there no Happy Meal toys for this thing? I don't know if y'all actually read my
Yeah, it's
rant.
just KFC and it's adult, right?
It's an adult meal. And I
Hmm.
get the adult meals. I get the fact that I guess K-pop Demon Hunters sold well for McDonald's and the Grinch adult meals sold well for McDonald's. And I get it. You're marketing to adult. By the way, I want to give credit where
They
credit's
have
due.
one for
Hardee's,
Minions. They have four different ones for the adult for the Minion ones on top of the
really?
seven. that they also have for the kids. There's 4 adult menus.
But see, there's kids, and
They
that
have them
was the
both
entire
at
thing. I made
Wendy's.
a rant online because um, I want to give credit, by the way, Hardee's, to my knowledge, Hardee's slash Carl's Jr., depending on where you are, started this. If you look back, they did adult meals that came with Adult Swim toys about, it's probably been about 6 years ago now. And
Hmm.
they don't get credit for that. Because I wanted the meat wad. It's the only one I wanted because we dumb. We dumb
We
as hell.
dumb as hell.
Anyway, but I'm not saying we shouldn't have adult kids milk because heck, I'm an adult, and if I want a toy, I want a
I
toy.
want an adult beverage.
Yeah. But in what meeting between Warner Brothers and Kentucky Fried Chicken did they have that meeting where they went, and no kids milk? Because in this day and age where, like, if my kids are just watching Disney Plus, Supergirl is made by Warner Brothers. They're probably not going to advertise the heck out of that.
Right.
But a kid gets a toy in a Happy Meal or a kid's meal. I'm using Happy Meal, the McDonald's generic term. But it's all of a sudden, as I kind of said on my post, this is, oh, I want to see this. What is this, Dad? What is this, Mom? I don't get why we stopped that. I don't get. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm anti-crass commercialism unless it's something I want.
Or
Uh,
we're getting paid.
yeah, yeah. I will. We will, by the way, doing a bonehead adult meal, a bonehead kids
I
meal.
will do a bonehead, a topless meal.
He'll do a bone. We'll let bonehead be used in dog food. Your dog can come with a bite your own Chad, and we'll actually put Chad in a bag. I don't care.
That's right. Is it Chad in a bag? A bag of glass, bag of dicks, bag of Chads.
Taste
What are you
that meaty,
getting? It's a
taste
surprise.
taste that meaty and somehow damp
I
Chad
think this is
flavor.
a bag of dicks. No, no, no.
I,
I assure you, that's a bag
I,
of Chads.
I do want to point, I want to point out, and I think this is a valid reason. I think McDonald's, the reason why they don't have a Supergirl Happy Meal is they bet on something else and it paid off because I mean it's the World Cup Happy Meal that with all these different collectible stuffed animals that
Oh,
my
is it?
daughter
I didn't even know that
that's
was a thing.
what my daughter is obsessed with. They're little squishmallows of animals dressed up in different jerseys from the World Cup teams. So
Oh,
yeah,
well, see,
it
that's cool if your kid likes sports or well, that type of sports. Uh, but
yeah,
this
I just think McDonald's said I'm sure they looked at do we want to cover Supergirl or do we want to cover one of the biggest sporting events in
well, and I
history
was gonna
that's in
say,
the United States for the first time? And they're like, yeah, we'll do that.
well, and that's the other side of it. You're absolutely right. It's global.
Yeah,
So you don't have to do the regional. Okay, McDonald's in America will do Supergirl. McDonald's in England is
Right.
going to do whatever coming out there. This was probably one of the few times where like it's global. We're going to just do the World Cup. You're
yeah,
right. You're right. I
yeah.
think that's fair. But I mean, I use McDonald's. I use Happy Meals as an example. But I do think it's really weird that we like. I was looking and I was like, I would. And by the way, that this Supergirl collectibles that come with the adult meal are
With the cake, what
backpacked.
does he get with the cake? What do you get? An extra piece of chicken? Yes, please tell me. I was going to ask this.
It's actually just I think a 3 or 4 piece chicken tender meal, and you get the Krypton cooler, which is the big blue drink. Their special drink. You can buy it separately, but it comes with that meal specifically. And then you get a figure, but it's a backpack clip. And I'm like, okay, once again, much more appropriate for kids in elementary school. Much
I don't
more.
know.
No,
I
no.
do
I mean,
like me a good backpack.
I would throw it on mine if I got one I wanted. By the way, I haven't got one. I came close. I'm not gonna lie. I was the boy wanted fried chicken yesterday, and I went and I was like, oh,
My
I
boy
could get
never asked for fried chicken.
um. Well, have you thought maybe that you
I'm
should?
not raising him right, that he's got the devil in him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Did-
all of these things.
yeah. Have you tried to have an exorcism?
Not yet. You know someone?
I mean, I assume if you want to eat fried chicken, you should just lock him in a room and only have fried chicken. That would probably drive the demon out.
I
He'll either eat that demon or
eat
he'll
that
either
demon or that
eat
chicken.
the demon or the chicken.
You
One
eat
is
that
going
demon or
going
chicken, boy?
anyway. But yeah, yeah. So there you go. But yeah, yeah, it's a backpack clip, and I mean they're interesting sculpts. They're very much Funko like. They're not made by Funko to my knowledge, but they're Funko like, and I was like, yeah, they're cool. Um, but again, most kids would enjoy that way more than I didn't see a lot of people line up for it. By the way, I don't think the crypto chicken bucket sold out either.
The crypto chicken bucket?
You didn't see those? Good, good sir. KFC got into the popcorn bucket business, except it's literally a crypto um, chicken
I've
basket.
got to go to KFC now.
Really, you're gonna get that popcorn bucket for
I
your
don't know what
collection?
it looks like. I'd have to Google it.
It
Here,
literally looks like a KFC chicken bucket with crypto hanging out of it.
I am intrigued, Chad. I'm just
here.
straight
I'll
up.
put it in the
How much
chat
is
real
it,
quick for
Chad?
you.
I have no idea. I'm not going. I don't. It's not something I really wanted to look into.
Well,
There,
heck,
if you click on that thing in the
you're
chat,
adventuresome.
you'll see it. And you'll see. By the way, it actually has an example of the clip next to it as well. But yeah, it
And I
just
know
looks
we
like
talked.
crypto erupting out of a bucket of chicken. If you've not seen the
Oh, I
commercials
kind
for
of
this,
like
by the
it.
way, the commercial is.
Actually, he doesn't
Yeah,
even
I mean,
really look
honestly,
like
it's
crypto. He looks like Falcor.
which, by the way, I would also buy a Falcor
Well,
KFC
I would
bucket.
totally buy a Falcor KFC bucket. I'm a luck dragon.
Who
No,
has
you're
high
not.
cholesterol?
Oh, whoa. Damn these arteries.
I've got 5 stents.
I'm sorry, you're all doing that. All I can think is the Family Guy thing where Peter's trying to ride him. I'm going down. You're mighty heavy.
Speaking of going down and mighty heavy, I just wanted to leave that right there. I was trying to think of what I was about to say. I'm really pissed at you that you sent me that popcorn bucket and it doesn't really exist for the Evil
What
Dead burn.
the Evil Dead one? Yeah, it's and that's a good thing to lean into too. So on the one hand, we have why don't they
We
make
just
Kid
talked
Meal
about
toy
popcorn
anymore?
buckets the other day, but
Yeah, why don't they make? And so if you're not aware of this, there was an Evil Dead quote unquote popcorn bucket made that looks like is it a dishwasher or an oven?
yeah,
It was a
No,
it's a
dishwasher with
dishwasher.
with the knives
dishwasher.
and stuff sticking out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
yeah,
dishwasher.
and so that they actually put that online as oh, it's an Evil Dead popcorn bucket. But if you read the fine print, it doesn't. It exists, but it doesn't exist. They made a couple of them, but it originally started out as an AI generated thing, and then it's basically a way to hype the movie, but you can't go and buy that bucket. And it's a new trend that they're trying out to do what can we make, what can we produce, what images can we get out there that will make people go to the theater. And of course, if you go to the theater, you're not going to go and just buy the bucket. You'll go and be, I want to see the movie, and then oh, they don't actually have that bucket. It's a
Yeah,
little bit. You have to read the fine print on that, but to
it,
my knowledge, unless they've reversed course in the last week, if you read the fine print, the popcorn bucket is the dishwasher Evil Dead popcorn bucket doesn't actually exist. It was something they created just to hype the movie,
Yeah, I
and
think
it's
Joe's going
not
to be
there.
let down again because I don't think they're making an Evil Dead popcorn bucket,
They
no,
are
they're not,
luckily making a Super Troopers popcorn bucket though.
which is
which is pretty.
ridiculous.
I like it. I think it's cool.
That's just because Joe doesn't want to have doesn't believe people should be able to have mustache rides. He is anti mustache ride.
I only am anti if I'm not getting one. Hello? Is this thing on?
Yeah, it is. I mean, I don't have anything. I don't have a follow up to your comment there.
I
No.
felt a little awkward.
Well, of
Um,
course you would. Why wouldn't you? Why don't you have a comment? Why
um,
why don't you want to talk to me? Why don't you look at me during?
but yeah, so
No,
I'm glad you brought that up. I know we're just bouncing from these topics of promotional stuff, but actually, and I think this is a great topic because what does that actually mean? Like, I
Yeah.
am now actually kind of concerned about uh, AI or extremely limited edition popcorn buckets, where I think they finally said they did make three, and I assume one of them is owned by Sam Raimi. Uh,
Well, you would hope.
I mean, maybe. But yeah, I think that's really like I get certain theaters having certain ones. Like there is Super Troopers. I think it's Cinemark is going to have a Super Troopers exclusive. Because they help promote Super Troopers too, so they did a deal with them where they get something different than some of the other ones. But in general, that popcorn bucket you can go to different theaters and get if you want a Super Troopers popcorn bucket. I real it's really so I get the exclusive to certain stores, right? You got to get people to come to your theater, so you're going to have an exclusive. I am a little bit peeved. I agree with you, Joe, about the idea of, oh no, no, we put it out there, but you're never going to get one.
Well, even if they put a premium on that, right? So I don't need to spend the money on it at all. But even if they put a premium on that, you have to admit that collectors be out there for that.
Yeah, yeah,
And
Yeah.
you just ordered it at the like you could just order it at Cinemark while you were there. You know what I mean? And then they
yeah,
would send it to your house. You would pay for, there's a lot of nerds for the evil. Well, I think anybody would just think that was neat.
yeah, yeah. No, and I think I mean, and that's the entire thing. And maybe that's actually the system they need to move to is have it be like a pre-order, right?
Right.
You watch the movie. If you like the movie, you can order the popcorn bucket, and like you said, they send it to your house. It takes up less inventory space. It does stuff like that, especially if they're really expensive. Like your Mando one. I mean, you have it, and it
Mhm.
wasn't cheap.
No, and it was cheaper the other day when we were because they didn't sell out of them.
Yeah.
What?
I
That
noticed that.
movie?
I didn't say anything.
He just saw
Oh,
it real hard
it's
and
funny.
laughed behind your back.
It's
But
funny. It's funny. It's funny. It's
Yeah,
funny.
when we got to the movie theater early, me and my daughters, and we went in line to get a soda, and I saw that, and Haley's like, "Daddy, they have it. It's so cool." And I'm like, "Yeah, your your Uncle Joe paid about $50 more,
30,
$30 to get." And
30.
she's like, "Why did he do that?"
Because I bought it when it came out. I didn't know that we'd be sitting in July. I was like, yeah, I don't want to see a Star Wars or a superhero movie this summer generation. You want to see
I
that one coming or even the 80s. I don't want anything to do with the 80s. 80s is old.
You think
Whereas
that
4 years
Spider-Man's still gonna
ago,
do okay though? I
yeah,
bet it is.
yeah,
I
because
bet
of
it is.
Spider-Man. It's just like if
Yeah,
a Batman movie comes out. Don't you
yeah,
think?
yeah, yeah.
There's just Batman and Spider-Man are they're just part of the cult. I mean, all of it is part of the culture. I'm just those are I
Those are
I
the ones
can't
that cut
explain it.
across genre, like cut across. Like fanboy, I'm a fanboy. I was gonna go see Supergirl. Doesn't matter. I'm gonna go see Super. I'll see. Obviously I'll see Avengers when it comes out. But quite frankly, if they announced tomorrow that they were doing another Rocketeer movie, I would buy tickets today.
Hmm.
Yeah.
There's certain things that you're going to get me to show up for, but I am the exception, right? If everybody would go see Rocketeer, we'd probably be on Rocketeer 7 or 8 by now at least.
Yeah, I
I'm
agree.
sorry.
Why did so many people not go see Rocketeer the first time around?
You all didn't go see it in the theater either the first time around.
I was poor, Joe. Thanks
I
for
You
reminding
were
me
Yeah,
of my
poor
same.
and
tortured
8 years
youth.
old. What's your excuse?
Poor, couldn't drive. I did enter a contest trying to win tickets. I didn't win though. Thanks for once again reminding me I'm a
Think
loser.
that you're a loser?
That came from nothing. Yeah. Thanks for that's what I
Well, you can
needed to
always
know
go
though.
back to it.
No, they closed me out.
That's sad.
Now I have to go to less than nothing now. That's my only option. But thanks for reminding me. If I didn't if I if I hadn't pawned all my implements of destruction. But I
All
did.
right. So, on a scale from 1 to 10, how good do you think Evil Dead Burn's going to be Saturday? Have you guys seen the tomatoes and all the other stuff? I haven't read. It's all positive.
I don't rate any of it, so not for something I'm really looking forward to.
It's
Well,
well,
here
if it makes you feel better, it's like highly positive
Cool. I would say
and
if
extremely vicious is the
if
words
it's
I
a
keep
seven,
hearing.
I'm happy.
I was about to say my hope is a 7. My hope.
Okay,
I mean,
that would have been my
and
hope because I think Rise is a 7 or 8.
yeah,
Hmm.
see, I put Rise at about a 6. Again, it's better than average. I consider 5 average, right? And so we've had this discussion before. I don't hate Rise. I just wanted more. I
It
needed
just
it
gave
to
me
do so.
everything I needed that night.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I'm
Joe and
hoping.
I
I'm
both were
hoping.
in the theater going, "Ooh."
It was just it. It's like Ghostbusters Afterlife. You just clicked every little box as it went around.
Hmm.
Yeah, see, I didn't get the like Ghostbusters Afterlife. I agree. Like
And
that's a 10 out of 10 for me.
the fact
But
that my 12-year-old really liked it made me happy.
Yeah.
but I think that's the thing. So I'm hopeful. And by the way, Evil Dead's another one of those franchises. I'll be honest. There's some franchises, no matter how ludicrous they get, I show up for. Evil Dead and Highlander are in those categories that if they bomb completely, I'm still going to be. I went and saw Highlander in game in theaters, folks. I have no shame.
Well,
I love that idea. It's
I
not
think
well executed in some of those movies. I love the idea,
the
and so I'm going to
problem,
support it.
the difference between what you just said with Highlander and Evil Dead is that I don't know, for some, I read a review for Highlander. It was like, well, the movie, he was the last one, but that's beside the point.
Yeah, no,
The
no,
first movie,
diminishing return.
Diminishing Return, he was the last one. But for the
Except for
Evil,
Final Dimension.
okay, I don't remember. But for Evil Dead,
Is that
that,
part three, James?
No, it's Highlander, Highlander 2.
yeah, Highlander, the Final Dimension is three, right?
3, you're right, you're right,
Yeah,
you're right.
yeah. Okay, okay. Sorry, Joe. Didn't mean to interrupt you.
Because then there's Endgame, and then you got an animated series in there with Quentin MacLeod.
Well, what I was going to say is I don't think it's a remake. I know we call it a remake, but Fede Alvarez's 2013 pretty
It's not.
much opened the Never book for anything you can do. All you need really is some sort of family or unit or friends under stress. You put them down in a isolated, well, you can, and now proved, and Rise proved you can do it in a building. It works
Hmm.
just great, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
You put them there, and you can do whatever you want in an Evil Dead movie for the most
yeah,
part. You have
yeah.
some, as long as you have those elements, some people together under stress, and you don't need Bruce. As much as I love Bruce and Ash, it works well without him. I never would have thought that, but it did. It does. You just do that, and then you punish people. You literally punish them. And it's not like, I don't know, it to me it's not, they're not like Saw or any kind of, it's not splatterpunk or torture porn. To me it's not torture porn because the deadites, I still hate that we call them deadites. I still think that's the stupidest thing on earth. But
I love it.
the deadites enjoy it. Like Saw's
Hmm.
trying to teach you a lesson. Torture porn is just the sake of, they're just enjoying it.
Yeah, there's no plot to that torture porn. It's just, oh, let's make it the most visceral. But there's actually a reason behind it
And these
in Evil Dead.
demons are goofy, even when, because they just enjoy it.
Hmm.
It's a fairly simple thing for, and you just find whoever is hungry enough and wants to play around the sandbox and make a name for themselves. So their next movie, they get to put their name over the title.
Can I be borderline offensive to a small group of people,
Sure,
but also say the difference here, kids, is that the people who are professionals at suffering are the Cenobites from Hellraisers.
that's
The
another one
dead
that could.
the
It just makes no
Deadites you
sense.
see are the frat boys of the Cenobite community, really. They don't really have a great plan. They're just going to come in and do have their wild hedonistic parties. And by the way, if you're offended by that, I do know that Greek societies are not about hedonistic parties, but pop culture references like Animal House say I can make that comment. So there you go.
Well,
And
I
if you're
think
really offended, Joe Lewis Bennett.
I actually like the Hellraiser remake. That's another one I think if they could open up. I
Yeah,
like
no,
that
no.
Lady
I
Cinnabon.
was
I
trying to
like
think
that
of.
one. I didn't think that was a
I,
bad movie at all. In
I was
fact, it was
actually
better than
trying
most of the sequels.
I was actually trying to be somewhat seriously philosophical. That's the extreme of why those
Yeah.
franchises are different. The Cenobites are it's art, it's release, it's very they have a plan. The Deadites are like the junior version. They're not
It's
they're the
true.
amateurs.
Even when they're vicious, it's still it's just to have a good
Yeah,
time.
I mean because literally watch the Evil Dead movies. They don't have a master plan. The forces of evil don't really have a master plan other than survive and spread.
Yes,
Possess.
I
That's
guess.
it. That's their master plan. They don't have an end game. It's just, hey, let's just cause havoc, which is fun.
I'm excited about it. What
No,
else is
no,
left
I'm
this
I'm
summer that we're
hopeful.
excited to see? I'm not. I
Now,
want to see the Odyssey, but I'm not excited to see it. I don't get.
see, I am excited to see the Odyssey. By the way, I do want to ask, apropos of this conversation and this coming weekend, I haven't read any Evil Dead reviews because I didn't want to know. I want to experience it,
Well,
right?
I've just.
No, no, I know.
Yeah.
But I did read the Moana reviews.
Thank you,
Bec-
Chad. Now we're talking. This is a good way for Chad for us to finish up, don't you think?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
no, that's what I was thinking. This is the way I think we can end this episode. So I read them, and literally, I read actually probably 15 reviews because I figure at some point my daughter loves Moana, and I'm going to end up in the theater with this. And by the way, I like Moana.
I like we
The
Chad and I were
first
talking.
one
I
was
didn't
great.
care that much for the, but I really liked the first one. It's a good
Yeah,
movie. It was different.
but with that being said, Read 15 reviews. The average rating was about 3 stars. But the with the exception of 2 reviews, one was, I think, from Variety, which was a glowing review. It was like, oh my God, this is awesome and all that stuff. Hits all the marks and improves on them. That was the only one that actually said that. The rest of them were like, did we need this? This literally, and actually their critique of it, which I was like, oh, well, that's interesting, is it's too loyal to the original.
Yeah, I
That
told.
that
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I mean that's what the review said was it feels unnecessary. That obviously The Rock is good as the character he pretty much invented.
Already
Um,
played.
and that she's good as Moana. That everybody in it's good, but they actually said the problem is you can almost count the beats. Hold up the animation one next to it, and it's like they don't even do unique camera tricks. They do it like it's animated. And that they said that's the problem. That this is a story that's already beloved, and yes, it's extremely recent, but they could have done something that would have made it feel more unique. As much as you may not like it, The Beauty and the Beast with Emma Watson is not a shot for shot remake. The biggest critique I've heard about Moana is that it is literally as close as you can get to a shot for shot remake of the cartoon. I have not seen it yet.
I
I
haven't either.
cannot, but 13 reviews said that. 2 reviews were positive, saying, "Oh, you should take your kids to see this." But again, even the positive ones weren't. Oh, look at what new things it does.
Chad,
Yeah.
finish this up.
About
You're,
Moana.
yeah.
Oh, I don't want to speak too loudly because my daughter's next to in the other room and she really likes Moana, but I have no desire to see a shot-for-shot remake of an animated film that was already good and then just put live actors in it. It's just
It's
not.
a
I
cash grab. Same thing
It's
with
it's a
Stitch,
cash grab.
The Lion King, and I get why
I
they
have
did it,
not
but
enjoyed one single live action remake, and I know it's going to continue. Uh, all of them are going. Oh, they're just shit. They're just cash grabs.
quick comment to I have one correction that there is one animated movie. It's not about Disney that I would love to see remade as live action.
Secret in M.
No, okay, but that's maybe two. No, Batman Mask of the Phantasm.
Yeah, that'd
eh.
That's
be
a good
good.
one.
And this has been Bonehead Weekly. We'll see you next week and we'll have a longer episode. Unless
Yeah.
Chad once again gets the dripping dropsies. Bye
Oozes.
guys.
He's got the
Bye.
oozes.
Oozes and Watsits galore.